This is another question I get asked a lot. Should I speak Spanish from Spain, traditional Spanish, they often say, or Latin American Spanish? It really actually just comes down to personal choice here and the context in which you're going to be using the language. Both are virtually identical. It's like the difference between British English and American English, or Australian English, or Canadian English. So what you're actually getting here is the same language, but with variations in slang, some regional differences with local terms, even differing between countries in South America, but the vast majority of the language is the same. Accent's a big thing that will change between even regions within Spain, but between mainland Europe, Spain, and Latin America. Now, if you're going purely by numbers, Latin American Spanish wins. There are more Spanish speakers in the Spanish-speaking world over there. So you really have got a huge number, hundreds of millions of people speaking Spanish who aren't in Spain. But what you do need to think about is, where are you going to use the language? Are you going to use it in mainland Spain or Latin America? Now, this may not affect your choice at all. Now, I personally teach using the pronunciation of Latin American Spanish, more specifically how I learned it when I was in Peru. Now, this doesn't change the fact that you can very simply alter your pronunciation to match that of the area where you're speaking. And if it's desperately important for you to sound like the locals where you are speaking Spanish, you will quickly pick up that and you can copy those accents. Having a foundation in the language is much more important than sounding exactly like the people you're speaking to. That communication thing, the ability to be able to have a conversation and be understood, is far more important than knocking every single regional accent out of the park. So you'll be able to adapt. And I think the important thing is not to let this decision delay you in making that choice to learn the language. It isn't a massive factor. Now, there will be people out there who say, oh, you must learn traditional Spanish because it's the only way. Or, no, Latin American Spanish is far better because most people speak it. I'm sure there are lots of people out there on forums giving their reasons for this. It's a load of BS. You really do not have to worry about this. The language is essentially the same. And wherever you go in the Spanish-speaking world, if you're speaking well, you'll be doing fine and you will be understood. So don't let the naysayers win. Just get started. You will be able to swap between accents in regions. You'll understand what people are saying. That's part of the fun of speaking a language. So don't be put off and don't delay this decision to start speaking just because of this. It's really not worth it. Maybe one of these regions or one of the accents excites you a little bit. That's great. Even if you learn Spanish with me, with the way that I speak, I really don't think it's a problem for you to then swap over and copy someone who speaks from a different region of Spain and says things slightly different to me. If you understand how to put that sentence together, then that person is automatically going to respond with their natural accent. If you like the sound of it, then you can pick it up. You can be a bit of a social chameleon and take on that accent. If you're spending considerable time in any particular region or country, then you will naturally start to pick up the lingo, start to pick up the local words for things, or the expressions, even the mannerisms. And that's the greatest thing about learning any language, but particularly Spanish, because there are so many countries where you can go to use it. And it's fun finding out that there's a different word for milk or mountain or something strange like that. It's often those weird little things that will crop up and you'll go, what does that mean? And someone will explain it to you. But knowing the surrounding language and understanding how they put those sentences together, that's what you need. That's what you've got to do. You've got to start that journey. You know, the accent and the way you speak, you can tweak that indefinitely for the rest of your life. And that will be fun. So don't delay. Get on board. Remember, there's a free lesson, 1 hour, with 2 students, and they've never spoken Spanish before. Go and check it out if you haven't already. I'll put the link below. And that was the start of a 30 lesson journey for them, taking them to a point where they understood major parts of the language, past, present, future. Okay, jump in, get going.